Welcome back to the program. Well, let's continue with the conversation, and we look at issues of implementations. Mr. Eto, Senator Mamura has been talking about apologies and the fact that the realities are different from expectations. But again, in terms of implementation, would Nigerians expect, no apologies will be expected this time around?
Not apologies. The first thing is that notwithstanding that we are not government in power, and notwithstanding my earlier comment on it, I think it's a budget that has a little deviation positively from the past, in the sense that there's a lot more provision for capital projects. That's a very good thing. Also, we have a system where they've highlighted about 34 key projects that they want to get into. And then there's an effort to kind of inflate the economy with some liquidity. These are good aspects of the problem, but I do have some concerns. As soon as the budget was signed on Friday, we had what we call an emergency executive session as a party, because for the first time we want to run a party as a party, where it's not just about noise, it's about substance and being very cerebral, because government is like the biggest, most important corporation that runs the affairs of men. So it cannot be something you do over a bottle of wines. And
a lot of people will say, out of the 12 months in the calendar year, 5 months is gone. I mean, 5 months, we are in the fifth month.
No, we are
the reality, as an architect,
the
reality of it is that we have just about 2 or 3 months before we enter into deep into the rainy season.
What is more relevant is that we are here where we are today. How do we go from here? So we decided to look at what we would do as a party, and our role is to set up key performance indicators and to monitor every aspect of the promise with respect to timelines. We take it up as a project, as a party. So we look at the deliverables, and you see, it's one thing to have a budget, another thing for you to have it cash backed, so that at the end of the day, we don't have 50% implementation, not because it could not be done, but because our projections were wrong.
Do you see the Buhari-led administration as a government that can achieve the target of 100% implementation of the budget?
No, the reason is that right now the chief executive, the driver, means well, but he's not been able to communicate that to every single person, so that they stop working on speculations which somebody outside is at liberty to do. They start to work on facts and realities. Let's look at the hard facts and realities. I felt quite almost scandalized when we talked in terms of we're going to pump in 350 billion into the system. We have a hemorrhaging patient. What's 350 billion? Now, I listened to the Minister of Finance on this station some days back, and she was trying to give explanation as to the TSA, that they told us they have about 3 trillion. They also told us that they have collected a lot of money from corruption, drive, and all those things. Now, it's either you're coming down and being honest and straight with Nigerians, and we just do like this, keep everything, let everybody see, so that we can take it as
a national project. Transparent enough?
No, I ask you a simple question. If you have 3 trillion, the explanation that she gave was
that you have a 6 trillion budget.
The first explanation was that, this 3 trillion belongs to some ministries that for projects they have. And I asked, are these ministries from Mars? Are they not the same ministries that should be contained in the same budget? And if that money is there, why is it not pulled out and pumped into the system?
So you see this honesty in the
yeah, there's something, there's still that same old,
that we do not understand, or you think that there's something that we do not understand, that there's something
they need to level. Yes, they need to level. What's so difficult letting us know how much money you've recovered?
But they always say it. At the moment that it was 1.2 trillion, they came
1.2 trillion, and
when they say it was 1,
then you are now inflating the economy with 350 billion. For goodness sake.
It's not matching up. That's what you're saying.
There's something wrong. There's something we're not being told. I would have expected they would pull 2 trillion
out of what is we said
immediately pump into the system. And how do you do it? You do certain things differently. Where
but
does
can you do it without a signed budget? Without they said when the budget is signed, we are inflating the economy immediately with 350 billion. Based on the project.
For goodness sake, the projects in the budget are worth over a period of 1 year 6 trillion. So as at today, you can't talk of 350 billion, except of course the cash backing is a challenge. And if it is, look, level with Nigerians. Let's see, the real change is letting Nigerians manage expectations. Because if you don't manage expectations, at the end of the day, it's same old, same old.
Senator Mamora, I mean, you've heard that. Transparency, expectations, and coming to Nigerians with the needed information. If your party has budgeted 6 trillion to fund its finances for the financial year, and you've said you're going to borrow, and you said you're pumping 3, just like he has explained to you, do you think something is wrong somewhere?
I don't think anything is wrong somewhere. Now, the truth is that government has done its homework, and the sources of these funds have already been laid bare to the people. So it's not a question of somebody getting funny somewhere. No, absolutely no. So much is being recovered from loot all over the place. So much is being expected even from some countries out there that want to be where recoveries are being made. And of course, borrowings, internal and external borrowings, all these ones are there. And all these have been factored into that budget. It's a realistic thing, and of course, the calculations have been made as appropriate, and it's just a matter of now waiting to hold government responsible. I did say earlier on that Mr. President was very, very conscious of all this, and that was why he wasn't just going to put, his assent and sign the budget without being sure, because the allegation then was that contrary to what was submitted to the National Assembly, some mutilation, took place. And that was why, he decided to withhold his accent until these things, are sorted out, which had been sorted out now. So I think we should trust Mr. President that he means well and is going to carry out what he has promised.
Senator Mamora, it goes beyond for a lot of Nigerians who are anticipating the change that your party preached. You were at the forefront at the campaigns. Your party said so many things, and down the line now, a lot of promises also have been made in the budget that has been signed into law. It goes beyond the intentions and meaning well for Nigerians. It comes to the point of the realities on the ground, how the budget will be implemented. What are those things that you think the government should be doing right now to make sure that the deliverables get to the doorstep of an average Nigerian?
Those things have been said already. The issue of reinflating the economy, 350 billion naira, it will be done. Of course, the issue of opening or creating opportunities for youth all over the place to innovate and, of course, go into some form of diversification through technology. Again, diversification in terms of moving away from the monoproduct economy. All these were addressed in that budget.
Just a moment, Senator Mamora, if I may quickly come up in here, sorry to break that thought. If I may quickly come in, they were seeing how the civil service and the system can frustrate government or party plans. In terms of implementation, the MDAs, the workings, it's going to take a lot of bureaucracy. Do you see that coming in the way of the reality, like you alluded earlier, coming in the way of the implementation of this budget?
Yes, we've had this in the past, and that was why Mr. President was insisting when allegations of padding were made. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, again, at this point in time, some civil servants who were alleged to have been involved in this are, already being interrogated and possibly will be prosecuted as well. Because I have just said that we are trying to break away from the old order, to do things differently. And besides, you recall that the finance minister did talk about efficiency unit to monitor these things, and part of the agreement again is that there will be quarterly monitoring and report of the implementation, so that at each point in time you know where government is vis-a-vis the programs being implemented.
Right. Let's come to the Lagos City quickly. In terms of implementation, the reality of the time is that the system, the APC said we want a change, and they said they're going to be bringing a change. In terms of the MBAs have the steering now to drive the budget in terms of implementation of all of this. What do you see, and what do you think the government should be doing right now, the Buhari government?
The biggest mistake that this government is making is expecting a tree to make a forest. The president is a great guy by any stretch of imagination. I have the highest level of respect for them. But you must understand that government is systems and processes. The very first thing that you should do is lay a foundation, a superstructure for what you are going to build, the civil service. The first shocker you had was that there was padding of budget. What did you do thereafter? It means that instead of just saying body language of Mr. President, it won't take nonsense. You should go back home, do introspection, look at your delivery mechanism, because now you are going to go into implementation. First, excuse me, is the money that you are going to release going to go through the same way through the ministries? Can you be a little more innovative like we are doing in the YDP? Can contractors be paid straight from central bank and make the ministries almost cashless and let them concentrate on policies and processes and projects? And this will cut down 90% of our so-called corruption is systemic. Can we tweak the system a little bit?
Can he correct the system in 1 year?
That's the first thing.
Even in 4 years.
He has to lay a foundation to correct, and let APC please come to terms with the fact that you cannot change the system in 2 days. Let them come back, apologize to Nigerians and say, look, we created an expectation that was not exactly realistic. Let us start to lay foundations and give timelines and give deliverables. Let's take one step at a time. Let's go back to technology and use it to drive the change that we want to do, and use it to cut corruption. When they do this, Nigerians will be patient. But so long as you keep doing this abracadabra, they are doing themselves more harm than good and giving us an opportunity to shine. And YDP will definitely seize the moment. We are ready for it.
Thank you so much. Mr. Enyaget Oko, the national chairman of the Young Democratic Party, and Senator Olorunnibe Mamora, and APC chieftain, talking to us on the program. Many thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks so much. I appreciate channels.
We go on a short break, and when we return, a former presidential candidate will join me as we look at the politics of the 2016 budget. Don't go away. We'll be right back.